The member for Dawson.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. Well, they've battled Cyclone Louis, a deluge of unseasonal rain, Cyclone Anthony and Cyclone Yassi, and now it seems that cane growers, particularly in my electorate, are going to be subject to the machinations of the Australian Pesticides and Veterinary Medicine Authority and their deliberations over the agrochemical or the continued use of the agrochemical diuron. The APVMA have come to the conclusion that the continued use of that of diuron in many situations, including cane growing, poses an unacceptable risk to the environment. There's not much detailed information as to how they've come to that, but I'm aware of a couple of recent studies that have come out. But the APVMA has requested that the manufacturers of this chemical show causes to why the product should not be suspended. So that is in threat. And for the benefit of those in this place that don't know much about diuron, it's an important residual herbicide that's used quite extensively in the sugarcane industry. Diuron and products containing diuron, including Valpar K4, as well as tank mixes using diuron, Gramoxone and 2,4-D, they're used very widespread throughout the industry to manage broadleaf weed and vines throughout cane growing areas. And there is a story going around that it'll be all right if diuron's suspended because there's other chemicals that the industry can grab onto. And I've got to say that that is quite a furphy. According to cane growers, there is no viable alternative to this chemical. In fact, I was speaking to the chairman of the Mackay cane growers yesterday, and he told me while there are other products that could be used, they are infinitely more expensive to the farmer and quite out of reach, in fact. So if this goes, the whole thing goes. And you know, there was a report that came out, and it was quite well timed, I might say, the first report card into the Great Barrier Reef, and the media reports made all this made it sound extremely bad, and like cane farmers were tipping thousands of kilos of diuron down the waterways and into the reef. It sounds bad, but the measures were against extremely rigid environmental criteria. And can I say that what they found, and this was done before a lot of extra management practices were put in place by the industry, they found that there was only some minor reduction in seagrass. In some areas seagrass had grown, and in fact there was no impact on the coral in the Great Barrier Reef in the areas that were utilising this product. And that just goes to show that there have been good things that the industry have been doing. In fact, the usage of diuron has contracted from about 3 kilograms per hectare to 1.8 kilograms per hectare in the last few years. There's been many other things that cane growers have been doing to improve the environmental conditions of the industry. In fact, just over 1,000 cane farmers, as part of a $65 million plus package that involved state and federal governments, they invested almost $42 million of their own cash and in kind to improve practices on almost 400,000 hectares of cane growing land. They improved fertiliser practices on 126,000 hectares, budgeting crop nutrition more precisely and using state-of-the-art technology to apply fertiliser. And they've improved pesticide application to 61,000 hectares, now using calibrated spray nozzles and the latest spraying technology. There have been all of these things done to improve the environmental situation of the cane growing industry, but now they seem to be copying again. Well, they've copped it from one too many sides. We've got the Worldwide Fund for Nature that photoshopped photos of rivers to make it look worse and put that propaganda out to school kids. We've had the state government with their onerous reef regulations. Now there's a carbon tax which is going to hit the industry to the tune of $80 million. They don't need another hit. They do not need another hit right now. What they need is for government to get off their back and let them do the jobs, let them continue the good environmental work that they've been engaging in over the past few years. And so I would say to the Australian Pesticides and Veterinary Medicine Authority, do not ban the usage of this chemical. It is needed in this industry. Without it, there will be serious repercussions for cane growers right up and down the Queensland coast. And if the AVPMA won't act, I ask that the Minister will.